Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another unboxing video. Today I've got something new and exciting for you. It's something that I got into about a week ago, and I've been slightly obsessed with the game ever since. That is a game called Mithril, trading card game. Now this is a game that I did miss the Kickstarter for, unfortunately. However, I wanted to make this video, and I did have to pick up a box on the secondary market. But I said to myself, okay, I found out about Mithril through another YouTuber, shoutouts to Frankly Collecting, who I originally watched his unboxing video for, and I really enjoyed the art for this game, and he introduced me to the game, and I got into it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm enjoying this game so much, I want to pick up a box of my own to show everybody, because hopefully I can inspire at least one or two other people to check the game out. Actually, quite a few of you already have checked the game out. From my community, from my Discord and everything. I've actually met up with a couple of you in the game just randomly, which is kind of cool, matchmaking. But before we open this, let me just tell you the one thing that will grab your attention about Mithril. So what is it about this one that kind of sets it apart from other TCGs out in the market? So the thing that really drew me in is that not only is there a physical trading card game, but the physical trading card game, every booster pack comes with a code card which can be scanned into the game, and there is a full online client both on PC and mobile. I play on my iPad personally, and you can freely play the game on there with the code cards that you scan from the booster packs. So there's a physical version that you can play in person and collect, or just have fun with it. However you want to approach it, play, collect, just play, and then you can also play in the TCG online client. So what do you say we start unboxing this now that we got that out of the way? Kind of the thing about Mithril that originally drew me in, but there's a lot more to Mithril than just that. We're going to talk about it as I open up the packs here, but it has a really, really good ecosystem when it comes to the fact that you can freely trade packs with other players. So that means if there is a card listed on the market, which is both shown on the website, but you do the trading through the app or the game itself on PC, you can put up a card on the market and ask a certain amount of packs for it, whether you want that to be the Kickstarter packs or the second edition packs, and somebody can buy it from you. That actually happened to me. I listed a card that I had quite a few of in a full art version on the app, and somebody paid me 10 Kickstarter digital packs to buy it, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. The problem is, though, or not so much the problem, but like the hurdle that needs to be overcome, is that Mithril is still a small but close-knit community. There's a lot of great people that I've met on there and played some games against. They're a very friendly, very welcoming community. If you do pick up Mithril, I highly suggest you join their Discord, which we'll also get into a bit here as we unbox this. Okay, so first of all, you get a box topper on top. So this is any rare card in holo foil. Now, there is something that about this game that I'm going to talk about that may turn a lot of people off, but I'm going to put this aside. We'll open that after we're maybe halfway through the box or something. I don't know. There is something about Mithril that is going to turn a lot of you away. But you know what? Let's not address that yet. Let's crack open some packs so I don't lose some of you out there that may be into this more from the collecting side. So first of all, pack. Looks pretty nice. I love the artwork. Let's see how easy it is to open. Okay. Alright. Not too bad. Opens pretty easy from the back. I've opened way harder packs, so that's a good start. Oh my goodness, I forgot my garbage bag. Alright, we're about to make a mess. Alright, so let's flip it. So here's the awesome part as I unbox this for you guys. Let me move this box over, actually. All these cards that I've opened in this box, unlike a lot of other TCGs that I've opened, where I'm like, oh, this is cool, but I don't know how it works. All these cards that I've opened, I'm using in the online version of the game. So, like, I've built decks with these cards. I can tell you what cards are good, what cards are not so good, and point out ones that I'm actually using in my deck. So, what do you say we pick a card here, and I'll kind of explain how this works. So this, if you've ever played Hearthstone, it works very similar to Hearthstone. So think of, how Hearthstone has a lot of random elements to it, where, it's really hard to play a game like that in person because of all the random stuff. So think of Mithril as a version of Hearthstone that is simplified to be able to be played in person. Oh, I also don't want to show my code cards. I do apologize. One of the reasons I did want to get a box as well is so that I can, um, you know, open more packs in the online TCG client. It's a perk to opening the boxes. So think of this game as a simplified Hearthstone where it takes out a lot of, not all, there is still some random stuff in it, but it takes out all the mechanics that would make Hearthstone really impossible to play in a physical card format. So now that you kind of have that in mind, it'll help you understand how the game plays. Another thing that the game has, it has equipment cards. So for example, this sword here, the Iron Edge, this is the cost. So every turn you get, you know, 1 resource energy, 1 crystal, 1 mana, if you will. So you would pay 4 to play this. It would give your creature that you put it on 4 attack and 0 defense. And then there's usually some flavor text here. This icon signifies that it is an item card. And then you have the rarity down here, circle being common, square being uncommon, triangle being rare. And then we have other symbols, which we'll get to when we pull one of those cards. So now that you see that, you can look at a card like this. This just heals your player for 8, so it's sort of like a nice heal for 8 cost. This card here costs 2 to play, 2 attack, 2 defense, so you put it on the board and it would essentially like trade in. So like Hearthstone, you can choose to either go face or attack your opponent's life directly, or you can freely choose which creatures you want to attack yourself. So if it has blocker, that means that this creature, you know, has to take attacks before other creatures that don't have blocker. Very simple, super easy to understand if you've ever played like any TCG with these kind of mechanics, and especially if you've played Hearthstone, you can jump right into this game. So you got like a simple buff, gives all your friendly creatures 1 attack. Now, there are a lot of cards in here, so I will say one of the things that can be looked at as a potential downside is that I do find there is a lot of power creeping, meaning you will see cards that are an uncommon rarity, or say a common rarity, and then the uncommon version of that card, like it'll be a different card, but essentially if you have common cards, you will, chances are, not use too many of them, because there's usually an uncommon card that will sort of one-up that card and do what it does better for, you know, better resource cost, better stat line. So here's our, that's an awesome rare. I've been thinking about trying to find a way to fit this into one of my decks, just a nice beefy 9 cost 9/9. But there is a version of this that gets power creeped, I believe, in the 2nd edition, where he actually gains blocker, I think. So not like power creep, but I guess an updated version. It gives you a reason to pick up the 2nd edition packs of this. All right, we're gonna have to remember to redeem these before I upload this video. I do apologize, because I'm never gonna remember that the code card is in the back. All right, so there are 3 keywords in the game. There is ward, which it sort of acts as like, you know, it absorbs 1 hit, 1 physical attack, but it does not absorb magic. So there's ward. And then there is Swift, which is sort of like a, you know, you can attack with your creature on the turn that it is played. And then there is Blocker, which, you know, acts as like a guard. I've been wanting to put this guy on my decks to try him out. Deal 1 damage to a target creature when you summon it. So this game usually charges about 1 mana to deal 1 direct damage for a rare card, or usually 1 to 2. So in a way, this guy is sort of like a 4/5 for 4 cost, with an additional cost to deal 1 direct damage. There's not a lot of cards in the game right now where you can choose to do direct damage, so I kind of value stuff like that. I will say, though, these cards in person, the art on the game is one thing, but usually the icons for the art are kind of small in the app when I play on my iPad, so it's really nice to see some of the cards that I've used digitally in person. I've never had the opportunity to do that before, where you can see, you know, you play a game online and then suddenly you have the physical card version in your hands. This is definitely the first. So this one here is a Swift one, so this one would be able to direct attack the moment that it lands on the board. And then our rare is Halfgan, the Orc King. So this is another thing this game does, where there are multiple cards of Halfgan, but sometimes they will have just completely different costs. So there is another Halfgan that costs 4. He's a 2/6, I believe, and then every minion on the board will increase his attack by 1. So same character, just different cards. So I do encourage those of you that if you want to get into this game, you can download the app, try it out. There is a mode called Vortex. Vortex is really neat in that you don't have to own any cards to play it. It's how I originally sampled the game. So you go onto the app. You definitely want to get in the Discord, because what the Discord does is it'll post a notification in there anytime somebody queues for a match. It'll say your name, it'll say what mode you're queuing for, and then it'll post it in the server automatically for you, which is nice. You want to jump in the Vortex mode, but post in the Discord, be like, hey, I'm new, I'm looking to play Vortex. Does anybody want to play? If somebody responds, then you can start up a game. And the cool thing that Vortex does, it has about, I think, 10 different decks curated by the community that randomly rotate. So when you queue into Vortex, each player will get a deck randomly built from a group of 10, and then you just play with those decks. So every time you play, you're getting a different deck, your opponent's getting a different deck, and you can play the game that way without having to pick up any cards. Now, if you do want to get cards, the ways you would do it are through physical packs like this, and then you get your code cards and you redeem those. Great card. This is a Kickstarter exclusive. This is not in 2nd edition. I actually need digital copies of this. I don't have any digital copies of Ancient Gold Urn, so this is a 2-cost draw 2 cards. Insanely good card. I hope that in some of my digital packs that I'm pulling from this, I can get some of those for sure. And yeah, I mean, I'll play you for sure. I want to get more people into this game. My main reason for picking up this booster box is sure to showcase something on the channel, right? I love showcasing new TCGs for you guys. But if I'm actively playing a game and I want to see the community grow, I will make content on it and push it. I've talked about this game quite a bit in my Twitch streams, actually. I'll just be playing some video games and I'll just talk about this, which is really what got a few of you to already download the game and try it out. But I want to do whatever I can to try and see the community take off for this, especially leading in the 2nd edition, because that's usually, make or break for most TCGs. So if enough people get into the game and either buy it physical for the code card packs or just play the digital version, that's good for me because I enjoy playing it, but I want there to be an even bigger community. Oh man, awesome art on this Hunting Wolf. I don't think I've seen this one in the digital app much because nobody really uses this card. Because, for example, there's one, this is common, right? So there's a uncommon version of this card that is a 4/5. So this is an example of sort of power creeping in a way. Some people won't be a fan of that. I don't mind it. It just means that, you just never look at this card for deck building when you're kind of got a decent collection of cards in the game. And then after you kind of graduate through Vortex and you're kind of ready to move on, look at this Dion, Demon Lord. Decent little card when you're first starting, 5 cost 6/5. Then you can support the game either through buying digital packs, and then every 24 packs you open. It was kind of funny when I first joined the game. I opened 23 packs, and I'm like, okay, am I just super unlucky? I didn't pull any like super rare card. So I posted in the Discord. I'm like, what's up here? The odds are 1 in 24 packs. I opened 23. I didn't get any kind of rare card, but it's I guess not like a pity system, but you're guaranteed a mystic or a exotic card every 24th pack that you open. So it's kind of nice. At first I was like, I'm not sure if I like that. But then I was like, you know what? I like knowing that, hey, if I open 5 more packs, I am guaranteed a rare card. So that was kind of the benefit to going that route. Now, some of you might, not like that quite as much, but that only really applies to Kickstarter edition because the 2nd edition... Ooh, this is one of the best cards that you can get. This is Feya, the Wolf Tamer. So, amazing card. Getting a Kickstarter version of this is really nice, too. So, when she comes into play, she deals 4 damage to a target opponent creature. So, it's essentially like putting her into play, getting a 4 attack, 0 health, like Swift creature, essentially, running it into something. Just think of it that way. Just being able to deal 4 as you come in. There's very few cards that can do this in the game right now. Super strong card. Losing my train of thought seeing that Feya. I was kind of hoping I'd pull one of those. Alright, so let's address one of the elephants in the room. You're probably like, alright, where are the foils? So here's the deal with Mithril. And at first, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I like that. So, you got the box topper, right? Which comes with a foil. But in the rest of your packs, you are only getting, in your entire booster box, you're only getting 1 foil. Now, hear me out before you all click off the video. Yes, that means in an entire booster box, you are only getting 2 foil cards. 1 in your box topper, and then 1 inserted randomly into one of your packs. Now, obviously, the reason this is done is to make the foils feel exceptionally special. It also makes the foils worth quite a bit of money on the secondary market because, hey, you're only getting one of the exotic or mystic foil cards per booster box. Ooh, we got a Dragon Egg. One of the best cards in the game. Blocker with Swift and gives a target that you target 2 to 6 random defense. Sorry, 2 to 5. Super good. One of the best cards. So you might be like, man, as a collector, I don't know how I feel about that. I like foil. I like big shiny things. But you know, I thought about this and I'm like, especially in second edition. Second edition, they are adding full arts to the rare cards. So in a way, what Mithril is trying to do is it's trying to make you appreciate opening playable and really cool full art cards that aren't shiny. Not essentially, it's trying to make you rethink collecting TCGs. These days, everybody kind of expects a foil in every pack or every 3 packs. Mithril is challenging you to rethink what makes a card special to you. Maybe it's the artwork. Maybe it's the fact that it's rare, or it's collectible, or it's playable. Does it actually have to be foil to be fun for you to open? And it really made me think, you know, if I were to get a really awesome looking full art, sometimes foil can detract from the art. And the full arts in Mithril, which unfortunately there are no full arts outside of the foils in Mithril. Love the Pegasus card. I wish he was a little bit better than a base 5 for 5/5. Maybe in the future we'll see like a rare version of him. I would love more Pegasus cards. So it really challenges you to rethink what you like about TCGs and why you collect them. And I kind of think it's growing on me. I like the idea that the one foil that you get in your booster box will feel way more special. If every pack came with a foil, would they feel quite as special? Sure, you'd have those super rare secret art, full art foils that would kind of supplement that feeling, but wouldn't all your other foils at some point kind of diminish in how much fun they are to pull? Now, I'm not saying I'm never going to... Obviously, I still love opening my foil cards in other TCGs. But I think this is refreshing in the sense that it's a TCG that wants you to try and enjoy it without all the glimmer that a lot of other TCGs come with. And I think I can respect that. Oh yeah, one more thing. The 5 cost here in red means that you can pay life points to summon this. So it is only a 3/3, but you can essentially summon this on turn 1 for 5 health to get a 3/3 on the board. You just have to find a way to, you know, deal with losing 5 health. You start the game with 35 health. So I like the fact that I can also try and make content around this game while showing you guys physical cards. Great card. I made a deck recently with Warding Barrier, and it's been taking a lot of people by surprise on the leaderboards or on like in the ranked games that I've been playing. What I really like is I haven't looked at any deck building guides for this game. All the decks that I've built by myself, and there's one deck that I made recently that is actually performing quite well. It's defeated quite a few people in like top ranked players in the community at least once, except for a couple of them that I haven't been able to test it on yet, but it seems to perform really well. So when there's, you know, some tournaments, there's a tournament coming up on this Saturday in the early evening that I plan on participating in. If I make it through the first round, which is a Vortex round, I plan on putting it to the test to see how I do. But stuff like that, there's a lot of community interaction with Mithril and the community members trying to, you know, shoutouts to Moores, who really helped get me into this game. He hooked me up with some free cards, which really set me off and got me into the game, because at first it was a little daunting because I didn't really have too much to play around with. But he hooked me up with some free cards, and it really just, I took off from there. Really helped get me into the game, so thank you, Moores, if you're watching this. I really do appreciate it. Unfortunately, I probably won't be able to make too much more content surrounding this game until 2nd edition comes out next year, because I have no intentions of buying more Kickstarter boxes, unfortunately. I just wanted to get one so that I can, you know, showcase it on the channel and get people invested in the game, but unfortunately I just don't want to pay the secondary market prices for Kickstarter boxes. But in the future, what I'd like to be able to do, unfortunately I don't think I'll have enough cards here to do it with this one box, but I would like to make, as I gain more knowledge with the game, I want to make videos showcasing cards that I think are really strong in decks or underrated in decks, essentially making videos using the physical cards, because let's face it, well, first of all, my channel is focused solely on physical trading card game stuff. I'm not delving into digital stuff yet in terms of showing it on the channel. So the fact that I can show physical cards and be like, okay, this is a great card in the digital game, so I can kind of like pick out some cards and show them, and it keeps people more invested, I think, if you can see physical cards instead of, just a digital client with smaller artwork and such. What I would love to do is make deck highlight videos. Love the art on this card. He's a little too high cost for me to consider him in a deck, and there is a better version of this guy that is of a higher rarity, so he doesn't really have a place on my deck, but I do love the art on Centaur Wizard. But I'd love to make content being like, hey, this card is super underrated. I've been having a lot of success with it in my deck, and kind of make little videos like that. Lord Kale Darian. There is a nice full art of this guy. So as the game kind of comes out with more sets and stuff, that's what I'd hope to do. But right now, unfortunately, I'm just not going to have enough physical cards from this box, because there are 24 packs in a box. I should be able to get most commons and uncommons. Unfortunately, though, most of the cards that are worth mentioning are rares. A lot of commons are just straight up unplayable on a competitive level for the most part. Some uncommons you definitely can use, but a lot of them are going to be rares. So I'm not going to be able to get a full rare playset through this box. There's quite a few direct damage cards in this game too. Usually you're paying, like I said, every cost is like a damage. So 4 costs 4 damage, 2 costs 2 damage, so forth, so on. That's kind of how this game handles the cost of dealing direct damage to creatures. And then there's a couple cards in the game that reduce your opponent's mana by 1 until the next turn. There are a lot of insanely strong cards in this game, however, that you are mostly only going to find in the most rare of slots for rarities. Dragon of the Realms, great card. However, there is a second edition version of this card, so this one's not exclusive to Kickstarter. But Dragon of the Realms is one of the best finishers in the game when you're first starting. It is 8 cost. There are versions of this that can cost a little less, but 8 costs for an 8/6 Swift, it's pretty good, pretty good. Nice to get that one from Kickstarter because I do love the art. You know what? Let's pop open this box topper. Let's take people by surprise. A lot of people probably fast forward to the end of the video to see what I get. So we're gonna open it right here. So the way this works, I'm gonna open this with scissors. It can be any rare from the game, and it's gonna be in a hollow version. Now this hollow version is not full art. It's just a normal version of the card with a hollow finish. And you only get one of these per box topper. I'm not sure what I'm hoping to see. Hopefully a card that either has awesome artwork or is playable. Let's see what we get. Oh my word, no way. This is probably the best rare you can hope for, I think. I mean, there's a couple other really good rares, but oh my goodness, I can't believe I got a foil Djinn. Djinn of the Realm. Okay, let's sleeve this. Where are my sleeves? Okay, so this card here, first of all, the foil finish on that looks amazing with Djinn. And it looks to be in really nice shape, right? Is that a... Okay, it looks pretty good. Centering seems pretty good on it too. This might be something worth getting graded because I would never play with this in a physical deck. I think the foils are definitely more for a collectible thing, like get it graded, just display it kind of deal. So the reason this card is so good, first of all, he is Kickstarter exclusive, so you are hoping to get any of these cards, even in a non-foil version. But he is a 5 cost 4/4 Swift, so he can attack the turn he comes down. Really good stat line for that cost with Swift. But you draw a card on summon, so this is essentially a card that, if you've played Hearthstone and stuff, you know how valuable it is to play a card and draw a card afterwards to keep your hand replenished. Swift, oh my goodness. This first box couldn't have gone any better. Oh man, I hope that maybe this is a good omen for what is to come from my, one guaranteed mythical or exotic foil. So exotics are 1 in 4 booster boxes, I believe. It's like 1 in 96 packs, and then the mythicals are 1 in 24, so 1 per booster box. Oh man, I'm so excited for that. So happy. It's a great card. I'm actually currently not using him in any of my decks online, but that's just because my deck is going for a specific type of build and idea. But he is super playable in pretty much any deck in the game, so very happy to have pulled that. Yeah, so if you're still watching this, I do appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, I do make a variety of TCG content, so if you're enjoying the video, be sure to leave a like to help the algorithms. Liking is definitely the #1 thing to help YouTube recommend videos, so if you haven't liked the video yet, be sure to do so. It does help spread Mithril out to more people. helps them be aware of it. And also leaving a comment, I'm sure, helps the algorithms of YouTube as well. Honestly, anything we can do to help get Mithril, great card art on Dragon's Blaze, into the hands and minds of more people. Love the art on Gwyn, the White Dragon. I just wish Gwyn was a bit more playable. 6 cost for 7/4. It's good when you're first starting the game, but not in competitive decks. Oh yeah, awesome. One of the best cards in the game. So good that it's limited to only 2 per deck, at least in the online client. This card wins games. This card it swings. I mean, I guess the artwork is really accurate for this card. It can go one of 2 ways. You set all of your opponent's creatures to 1/1 for this turn. This card is crazy. You actually have to completely play around this. You have to sometimes build decks around it. I mean, it's an insane card. Great pull. Happy to get at least one of those. Hoping for 2. So yeah, if you decide, hey, this game is cool, like I said, join the Discord. Join their Discord. I'll have links in the description. And you can either send me a direct message or message in there. Hey, let them know that you found out about Mithril through my channel. Be like, hey, I watched Pate's video. I'm here for the first time. Checking the game out. Can anybody duel me in Vortex? I'm sure there'll be some community members that might also throw you some free cards. I've got plenty of commons and uncommons. So if you're new to the game and you're like, man, I'm having a hard time deck building, I'm sure me and some other people would have no problem throwing you a few extra cards to help get your deck building going. But it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, would I ever play this in person? Absolutely. If I'm going to a convention or anything where people are going to be to play Mithril, I will play it in person. Absolutely. The benefit of playing the TCG client and then playing physical is I already know how to play the physical version. So here's an example of in the 2nd edition, this card got power creep. So there's a card that I use in my decks, by the way. I think it's a very good card. Not this one, but the updated version, where instead of 9 cost, it's 7, and it deals 4 damage to all opponent's creatures. Board clears, I think, are very important in the meta of Mithril right now. Decks are super aggressive, so you need to find ways to counter board states that get a little out of hand. And that's what I've built my deck that I'm running right now around, and it's working really well for me. Other things about Mithril, there's a comic book with 1 issue, or 1 or 2 issues out right now. I'm not sure. Like I said, I wasn't able to back the Kickstarter in time, so I don't have the comic books. But they are releasing another comic for 2nd edition. If you're interested in 2nd edition and you want to wait for that, because right now you can only get these Kickstarter boxes on the secondary market, you can go to their website and pre-order it, and then every pre-order comes with a comic when it comes out. The cover looks awesome. I'm not sure, how the inside will be, but if it's as cool as the cover, it's very promising. And then for 2nd edition, it's a lot of the same cards, a lot of updated version of cards, where, you'll see a lot of the same cards kind of like just changed a little bit, maybe to be more powerful. Not more powerful, but like updated, right? A card that normally would be unplayable may get an updated version that is suddenly now playable, which is kind of cool. Which I guess is a challenge with Mithril. It's like, how do you balance a game where you might want to do changes in the online version, buffs or, nerfs, but what do you do if you have a physical version of the game? You can't just like reprint the cards that are in circulation. So it's kind of an interesting dilemma. I'm not sure if CJ, the owner of Mithril, has talked about this. But it's something to think about, right? Like, what if you do changes online? How does that change the physical version? Do you reprint the card later? I'm not sure. I don't want to speak too much to that because I'm actually not sure if it's been addressed or how it will be addressed. Relic of the Realms. You and your opponent draw 3 cards. One strategy that I used against, actually one of my viewers, shoutouts to Dallas if he watches, Dallas Sorora. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. One of the strategies I used against him in the first game I played against him, I filled his hand with a ton of cards on purpose. He had like 15 plus cards in his hand. I did that on purpose because I knew he was new to the game, so I figured, well, let's try and overwhelm him with a ton of cards to look through. And it worked. He got overwhelmed. So that could be a strategy against top tier opponents too. Like, you give them so many cards. I know that the strat with that card is to try and deck out your opponent, but I do feel like I did just spoil the rare on this, unfortunately. I thought that was the code card. I do feel like there could be a strat to, like, kind of just overwhelming your opponent by giving them too many choices to think about. But yeah, you can build a deck between 25 and 40 cards, so you can kind of make an aggro deck with 25, or more of a control-y type deck with 40. I run 40. And there's the card I spoiled. Getting another Djinn of the Realm. Amazing. As many of those as I can pull, I'm all for it. Alright, so I still haven't gotten my foil. It's in here somewhere. I guess the dilemma comes down to then, once you open your foil, a lot of people might kind of be dissuaded from opening more packs in Kickstarter if you have, like, most of the cards already. I'm fine with it because I'm still trying to get, you know, the full set. Fortunately, I don't think I'll be able to do the full Kickstarter set, but for 2nd edition, you know, if I get, like, 2 boxes, I don't know, maybe that'll be enough for the full set. But the nice thing about Kickstarter is, man, I keep spoiling the rare, thinking, I keep forgetting I already moved the foil card, or the code card. Even after you pull your foil in the 2nd edition, there are reasons to keep opening because there are no fixed odds for the full art rares. So that means, who knows how many you can get in a booster box. Maybe you can get a booster box where half of them are full arts if you're super lucky, which I think is a really good change for 2nd edition, because then there's no reason to stop after you open your foil. You keep going because there's always the chance of full arts. And let me tell you, I know I don't have any full arts here to showcase for, like, the normal rares from 2nd edition, but they look amazing. The full arts look so good for 2nd edition, at least from what I've seen in the online TCG client. Seeing those in person are going to be so worth it. So I'm hoping that within a box of 2nd edition, you're kind of going to get at least 2 or 3. When I open digital packs, that seems to be about, if you were to open 10 packs, you probably get about 1, 2 if you're lucky. Another thing, there aren't too many cards in the common uncommon slot, so you will see a lot of repeats here. But there's a nice variety in the rare slot for sure, which is why you won't see everything in one booster box. Oh, there it is. Okay. My full art is a King's Sword. Not one of the, like, creature cards or anything. However, the good news is this is a very playable card. I actually still need this card in my digital version of the game. I need this card badly, actually, in the app version. So it's cool to have a physical of it, but man, I could definitely use this card digitally in my decks. A lot of people use this against me, and it kind of stings. All right, let's try and sleeve this up real quick. Great card, as you can see, because usually if you're paying 3, you're getting 3 attacks. So this is a sword where you pay 2 and you get 5 attacks. So it's a very solid card. Shoutouts to Frankly Collecting, by the way. He pulled the same full art in his booster box that I watched that got me into the game. So maybe this is a good sign. Maybe the King's Sword is the card that people pull to help new people get into the game. Now, trust me, the other full arts, I have seen them. They look amazing. The finish and the full art effect on this makes it feel super special. I do kind of wish that I pulled some kind of monster or creature. I mean, there's some really awesome looking monster designs and character designs in the full art. So the only reason I'm happy with this, but I do wish that I pulled something a bit more flashy, because I want to showcase the game, right? I want to show people why you want to check out the game and get the hollows and stuff, because they look so cool. Nothing against King's Sword. It looks cool and everything, but it is, at the end of the day, it is a sword. And, you know, I just want to do my part to show people the hollows. So, who knows? Maybe in the future we'll be able to show more of those to you guys. But for now, it's the best we can do. And we're just going to keep enjoying the rest of the packs that we have here and hope for some more Djinns of the Realm, maybe. Maybe another Within Reason. I have a Within Reason listed on the marketplace, by the way. I forget what I'm asking for it, but since it is one of the best cards in the game, I think I'm asking like a pack or 2 extra above what you would normally ask for it. Normally, from what I've seen, the amount that people would charge for a rare card is anywhere between 1 to 5 or maybe slightly more, depending on the playability. Like, Within Reason is a card that you need at least one of in every deck you play. So everybody needs Within Reason, so for a card like that, you would definitely want to be asking a bit more packs for it in the digital version. Oh yeah, something else that I forgot to mention earlier on. Oh yeah, there are cards like this, Mana Potion, where you pay 1, get 2 mana this turn, so it's sort of like a ramp card. The deck I'm running right now actually doesn't run any of those. I'm still unsure if that's a good idea or not, but it seems to be working right for me. I try to run a slower curve so I don't have to worry too much about the ramp and kind of just build into it. The website for this game is great. It'll show you, you know, the history of a card. It'll show you, okay, this is the last sold price in terms of packs that it sold for from the last person that bought it. It'll show you how many are in circulation, which is kind of crazy. Like how many of the card exist in the digital client. I have a card that there's only one of them, the only person that has it. Shout outs to Moors, by the way. Thank you, Moors. Velarith, an awesome dragon. It's the only one that exists in the game for the 2nd edition right now. No other ones have been pulled. I have it. There's other cards where there's only a few more, like 4 or 5. I have some of those. It's just really cool to know, like, hey, wow, I'm one of the only, like, a few people in the world that currently has this in their collection. So it does add a bit of, oh man, I love the art on Dragon of Winter Ward. Not a terrible card when you're first starting. There are better cards, but when you're first starting, this is definitely one of the best uncommons you can probably be using in your decks. Yeah, so it's got, oh, yes, good, we pulled one of the, in case I ever play this game in person, right, this is one of the better rares you can get in terms of, like, the normal rare slot. So it's a Swift, 4/2, 3 costs, super good stat line, good ability. But there's just so many stats. It'll show you the player leaderboard so you can see who the #1 ranked players are, how many wins they have, how many losses they have, what their ELO rankings are. Like, anything you can think of is probably on the website or in the, you know, app client. It will show you match histories. It will show you when the last game was played, who won. In the Discord, when you're playing, it'll show, like, okay, these 2 people just got into a battle, and this is the person that won. So if you want to, you know, show people that you're beating, like, top-ranked players, it'll show it to other people. It's just, I don't know, it's just super, super well put together, and I gotta say, it's very impressive, the fact that this is essentially, you know, program made by one person, CJ, and then I think, you know, you got the artist, of course. There is one other person involved. I do completely apologize because I do not remember what role they played on the team, but at the end of the day, this is like a project from one person, one very passionate person that, you know, obviously wants to see their game take off. I want to see it take off because I really enjoy playing it. Oops. So, just doing my part. If I can even just get a few, 2 to 3 people in on this trying to play it every day, that's good for me. That means that's more people that I have a chance to match into when I'm enjoying a game, you know, with my morning cup of coffee, or being up way too late at night after I've done streaming on Twitch and I'm just like queuing for a game. You know, just having a few more people. Love the art on Flamefire. This is my avatar that I use online right now. Actually, haven't seen the physical or the digital card, like, in person for that yet. Oh, man, love the art on this. This card has received an updated version where it costs 5 to do this same effect, where it says deal 3 direct damage to opponent's player, 3 damage to opponent's creature, and heal your player for 3. There's also a fun little error on this card. I just love the art. Man, I would love to have this in a foil. It's like this little weird light area here that's on every version of the card. I guess when they printed it, kind of had an error. Alright, last pack. Let's hope we can get one more unique rare that I haven't pulled yet, or something playable, or... I'm not sure if we can get a second Djinn. I'm not sure about that. But hey, I got 2, and a foil. That foil Djinn is still over the moon about that. Mew Assassin. Iron Edge. Chest of Elven Secrets. Fox. We hold so many dark old wizards. Abyssal Priest. Lord of the Mew. I love the Mews. There's so many cool Mew cards, these cat cards. Oh, good, we got a Chalice of Ages. Very playable card. One of the best cards in the game for direct damage. Pay 2 life, deal 2 damage. Super good. And our final rare is an Aerolus's Moonbow. Not a bad equipment card. I've thought about using this in some of my decks, like one of maybe an online. 4 cost, 4 attack, 1 defense. So there we have it. My first and probably last booster box for Mithril Enter the Realm Kickstarter version, until 2nd edition comes out at some point next year. I'm not really sure when. They're going to cut it off when, you know, they've received enough pre-orders to go into production. I might have misplaced a couple of rares, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's a couple more rares over here. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. The full art would be 22. 23. There's a rare or two kicking around I'm going to have to find. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I tried to cover as much as I could remember to cover for Mithril. I'm sure there's some things I forgot that I wanted to mention, but I do hope... Oh, there, that was right, one of the gins. I do hope that this unboxing convinces some of you to check the game out. At least to, like, bookmark the website or something for when second edition's coming out if you kind of want to wait for that version when you can just directly order it and get it shipped to you and get your code cards and get your physical cards and jump on and play. But I do encourage you to still check it out now to see if it's for you and jump into some games of Vortex. Origin mode is what I'm usually playing, where you build your own decks and you kind of play against other players. But yeah, super glad. So happy about the Djinn of the Realm. Probably one of the best cards you can hope for from that box topper. The King's Sword, you guys know my thoughts on that. Maybe one day I'll get the shield to go along with it. Anyway, guys, for those of you that made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. Be sure to check the links in the description for more on Mithril. If you want to see more Mithril content in the future, please let me know. I would have no problem making some, deck building, card assessment. What are my top 10 Mithril cards that you're not using in your, that kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah, we're just droning on at this point. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.